I'm thrilled to be here. I initially thought that maybe I was talking to the plaintiff's bar, but it turns out it's the guys who are working against them most of the time. But I want to talk to you about something that will appeal to plaintiff's bar, namely a train wreck that is headed your way. And when I say your way, I mean specifically those of you who are trying to protect corporate interests in the United States, and I'd like to think the larger American constitutional system and values as well. The train wreck is involving something that Barry mentioned that may or may not be a term familiar to you. I hope by the end of this talk and our conversation about it to have imprinted it firmly on your mind. Because if you haven't heard of Shariah before now, trust me, it is a train hurtling down the track in your direction. What is it? And you might, thinking me to be a galvanizing figure, forgive me, there's a little bit of a revolution going on here with this microphone. Think that I'm making this up, or that this is my interpretation, or that I'm simply asserting things on the basis of somebody else's assessment. Everything I'm going to tell you about Shariah is directly derived from what its adherents say about it. I am neither imputing to them things that are not explicitly, publicly, repeatedly, unabashedly said by them about their program that they call Shariah. What is it? It is a theopolitical legal system. It is designed to govern literally all aspects of life, from the personal pietistic practice of the individual, of their faith, the number of times they pray, how they pray, which direction they pray, when they eat, when they don't eat, what they eat, on up to how they interact with other family members, how they interact with their community, their business associates. But most importantly, for the purposes of this conversation, Shariah extends all the way up to how the world should be ruled. And how it should be ruled under Shariah is by God, in the person of a theocratic ruler. The Sunnis call him the Caliph, the Shia call him a Grand Ayatollah. It doesn't much matter what they call him, the purpose is the same. A global theocracy imposing Shariah, which is perceived to be God's order on all the world, Muslim and non-Muslim alike. Muslims who adhere to Shariah and Muslims who do not adhere to Shariah alike, as well as all of the infidels. That program, ladies and gentlemen, is the train that is hurtling down the tracks towards us. Now, as Barry mentioned, for those of you based here in New York or who have simply come here with an above-average attention span, or at least retention capability, you will recall that 7 years ago or so, not too far from here, one of the most magnificent office complexes in the world was destroyed by people we have come to know as jihadis. They've been called that because, again, that's what they call themselves. What we, most of us at least, don't know is that that kind of jihad, the violent, destructive, brutally repressive kind of jihad, is really only one form of the legal obligation that Sharia adherent Muslims have under Sharia. Being a practical faith, Islam understands that there are times and circumstances under which violent jihad is impractical. It will be destructive to the faithful, not advancing the cause. And while destruction of the faithful in furthering the cause is, of course, a tenet of Sharia Islam, hence suicide bombing, it's not the idea to destroy the whole faith in order to have the faith triumph. So there is another form of jihad that is practiced, especially in the West,